1 year, dozens of tracks, and hundreds of laps, and a little bit of motion sickness. When I started this journey on New Year's Eve, I was just a guy with a controller and a headset. I didn't know a death chicane from a clean race bonus, but after a year of grinding, crashing, and learning, my perspective on racing and my driver rating has completely changed. After my first year of my sim racing journey, this is my 2025 year in review. Here we go. First dub of the night. I started with a bang. New Year's Eve, daily race B. I was on the DualSense controller, sweating through the VR, and I pulled off my first win, and I was hooked. A week later, I conquered Tokyo Expressway WTC 600. Getting that clean race bonus felt like winning the lottery. I thought, hey, I'm actually pretty good at this. Needless to say, I believe that many of us were driving under the influence. It was New Year's Eve after all, and after the win, I was on top of the world. Then reality and motion sickness kicked in. I went to Le Mans for a 30-minute race. I didn't check the weather. When the clouds opened up, I was on slicks, and I spun for 30 seconds straight in VR. If you've never been dizzy in a virtual cockpit, count your blessings. I had to take the headset off and lie down. Welcome to sim racing. By the end of February, I hit driver rating C. I felt like I was outgrowing the controller. So, in April, I made the jump, my first racing wheel. I thought it would make me faster instantly, and it didn't. I had to learn the game all over again. My first big win wasn't a race, it was getting gold at Interlagos in the circuit experience. It was the first time my hands and the wheel finally felt in sync. Confidence is a dangerous thing. I jumped back into the daily races and got absolutely dismantled, wreck after wreck. My rating plummeted back to driver rating D. It was humbling. It became painfully obvious that neither the people on the track nor I had any sense of racecraft, and it's something that I needed to remedy real quick. A week later, I got my first win on the wheel. Sure, it was in the basement of DRC, but it was the start of the climb. Despite all that, things were starting to look up. I was starting in pole position and I was finishing in pole position. But then I hit the B tier wall. Once I touched DRB, the racing changed. It wasn't about speed anymore, it was about surviving people who wanted to use my car as a brake. I got demolished, I got discouraged. I actually quit GT7 for a while to play Oblivion Remastered. Sometimes you just need to slay some Daedra to clear your head. It didn't help that also my wheel started malfunctioning and I had to send it in for repairs, and it took 3 weeks to finally get it back. So I pretty much missed the entire month of May, and it gave me time to think about things, and in June I came back with a new plan. No more multiplayer until I could beat the AI on the hardest settings. I spent July and August grinding. No ego, just practice. If I couldn't handle the AI, I had no business in a lobby with 15 other humans. So September was my return to the fire, and it was carnage. But I started noticing something. The guys wrecking me on purpose, they always make a mistake eventually. I learned the hard way that P7 with a clean race is better than a DNF trying to force a pass on a dirty driver. Come October, I had to face the death chicane at Dragon Tail for the first time. I practiced it as much as I could until I could do it in my sleep.
I didn't lift at all. I did it again.
Yeah! Damn!
Holy smokes. That is a good lap time. Look at this me into the damn wall.
The breakthrough happened in the
Jesus
first week
Christ.
of November at Dragon Tail. My first race back in the DRB. A dirty driver put me into the wall early on. Old me would have retaliated. New me stayed calm, focused on the lines, and climbed back from P4 to take the win. This was the moment I knew I belonged in DRB.
I don't know. Alright, I got first. Took it back. See if I can hold this. Here we go. First dub of the night.
I realized that I still needed to improve my racecraft, so I started following DG Lupnadaro's rules. Don't engage the group, don't trust the outside, make allies, don't overreact. I even started an alt account just to master these rules. It led to the best race of my year, a tooth and nail, respectful, 100% clean battle with a driver that I would call the Brazilian. We weren't fighting for P1, but we were racing for real. This is what GT7 is supposed to be. see here, we make contact. Old me would have been on an ego trip and assumed that it was all him, and possibly even retaliated. But now I'm following the rules, and I'm having better races. Here, you see a classic trick where I pretend that I'm going to take the outside, but then I switch back to the inside. And it also gives me momentum to take the inside of the next car. Here, I cut a little too much on the inside, ended up picking up a 5-second penalty. Now if I fought him for a position, it would slow us both down and he would just pass me anyways. So instead, I thought I would work with him as much as I could until he made a mistake for me to make a move. We spend the rest of the race battling it out. He ends up spinning out, which I find a bit disheartening. We had a fun race, but at the same time, I do feel proud that I learned some racecraft, finally. So what's next? I'm loving this Power Pack DLC, but the real goal is 2026. I'm going for driver rating A+. The plan is 1 long form video a week and 2 live streams so that you can be a part of my journey. If you've been here since the New Year's Eve controller win, thanks for sticking around. If you're new, grab a headset. It's going to be a fast year. See you on the next track.